can and do we evolve beyond the I am, beyond self realization? And if so, what do we evolve into? And do we reach a point where we have truly come full circle in terms of understanding what we perceive to be the self on a soul level? It is a cosmic journey, a circle without end. But is it a circle that starts over again and over again and over again in a looping cycle? Or is it more of a swirl, an overlapping swirl onto itself in terms of your own development and your own recreation of what you perceive to be you? And there are infinite variables in what that is. There cannot be an end to how you define yourself. Now, what does a soul do? Does a soul continue on this overlapping cosmic journey in order to recreate itself anew, in order to so-called understand itself, only to begin again? Or is there a point where you in actuality do reach what we deem to be a stasis, or how they like to define as nirvana? Now, there are those who say you will evolve to a point where you don't need to incarnate anymore. And then what? And there are those who say that energy can't be created nor destroyed. And I suppose they're right. And I've made a video a few weeks back saying, how can you place judgment on something that always was? How can you place judgment on yourself if you always were? Why do we do that? So there is an endless number of paradoxes overlapping each other in our strange and twisted existence. And I will say that there are those who try to destroy energy. They are here on this planet. They want to extinguish their own existence, non-existence, which I don't believe is possible. So, being that it is a process that always was, how is it even possible that what we deem to be as God, for that infinite mind, how is it even possible for that infinite mind to understand the reason why it exists if it's always been there? Meaning all of creation, which it has been. There has never been a point of non-existence. There has been voids. There have been, and there are voids, and there always will be. But even in that void, there is existence. There is awareness. It's just the idea of incarnation to me is fascinating. Because if we think of God as the entirety of the body, and we are individual cells in the body, you don't see a cell in your body, jumping out and creating a new one, unless, of course, you're thinking about pregnancy and things like that. But we do that as souls. We jump out of that cosmic womb for understanding, for quote unquote learning. For what reason do we even have to learn? What is it that we're learning? Is that really the purpose of our incarnations here, to learn? Because I don't think it is. I think it's as simple as just enjoying the fact that it exists. Just immersing yourself in what is. There is definitely a great purpose to joy, and to try to enjoy this endless process of recreation. Because if we don't try to enjoy it, and I haven't been through most of my life, then it loses that flame, it loses that spark of divinity, like most people lose. And it's incredibly hard to put into words what I'm trying to say today. I'm just in a very philosophical mood. And I do want to do a live stream and continue discussing this, and go more in depth of what you guys think. It's just really fascinating to me. It's just so fascinating to me that existence exists for that simple reason. And it's something I think about every day. And it's something incomprehensible that a small mind tries to comprehend. But I don't know. I wonder, how can God, the source himself, place judgment on something that always was? And how can God, the source himself, understand the reason why it exists if it always existed? Do you ask yourself, why do you exist? Why do you exist? Why do you have the character that you do? Why do you like the things that you like? And there's this psychologists and scientists and gurus try to explain everything to you. But who are you, and why are you recreating yourself anew forever? What is it that you are seeking? What is it that I am seeking? Inner peace, knowledge, spiritual growth. For what? For what if everything just simply is? Maybe we can come to a moment and just understand that it simply is. And when you come to that moment, like, I feel like I've had an epiphany today. There's this strange sense of equilibrium and balance that comes over you that is hard to explain. And you can fight against the dark forces all you want, but it's not going to change the fact that they've always existed and they always will. So, guys, I don't know if anything I said made any sense, but for whatever reason, I felt compelled to talk about this. And sometime next week, I will go live on these very strange, complex subjects. And we can discuss our eternal purpose and our divinity.